guys, welcome back to another episode of the Call of Dog Talk Podcast. Happy New Year's, everybody, as we are having the first episode in so many weeks. And the truth is, guys, is for those who don't know, I got married, and that's kind of what pushed it off at the beginning. And
Hey.
usually we give the whole team the whole Christmas off because it's time to spend time with family and stuff like that. I hope you guys had a good Christmas, even if you don't have family to spend it with. I still hope that you had a good time, know that you are loved, know that you are valued. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. I hope everybody had a good start to the year. As I know I have, but I have three men here who, if you add up all their points across the last week, you get 6 points, which is the total that I got from my team alone. And so to start off, I have the man who's been with me from the very beginning. Mr. Man City himself, or at least his 2023 since he switched from in Milan. I have Virgil. Virgil was a good my guy.
And yeah, happy 2026, season's greeting and all that.
Then I also have a man who you seen him here wearing a kind of pink jersey, but he really just came out of his suit because he just rushed back home from doing his Chelsea head coach interview. We have Brandon here. Brandon was a good my guy.
John, I can't lie to you. That's probably one of the best intros you ever given ever.
Thank you,
So I
thank you,
guess it's
thank you.
starting off the year in a good way. Happy 2026 to everybody. I hope they had a great 2025. And if you didn't have a great 2025, I hope 2026 is better for everybody.
And then lastly, we have a man who witnessed his manager doing change, but his second didn't work out. He changed right back. And so we have to get some experience in here to settle down the nerves. We have Aidan. Aidan, what's going on, bro?
What's up, John? What's up, everybody? Happy New Year, first and foremost, and congratulations. Well, on air,
Hey, thank you.
congratulations, John.
Thank you very
Happy
much,
to
guys. I
happy to be
appreciate
here
it
as
very much.
always.
So, guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with Chelsea. You all know by now the amount of things that come down. At this point, Liam Rossigne. That is how it's pronounced, Brandon.
Reading
Rosinia,
Um,
legend.
like it's literally like
Rossigne,
English. Yeah.
yeah, has been appointed as Chelsea's head coach. But there's so much to go through over the last week. From there, we'll go into the games. I kind of touch base on where teams are at the moment because obviously we didn't cover the Christmas period. But get a kind of temperature check on every single team. So, Brandon, I'm gonna give it to you. As a fan, as a pundit on the show, how it is that you have felt watching what was Enzo Mercer's last days unravel right before your eyes after what was a really good year for Chelsea. But it seems that there has been a lot of disagreement between him and the ownership, or rather the sporting director side of the board, and resulting in him parting ways. So, go ahead, man. Give us your 2 cents.
Um, well, I'll tell you one thing, from the Barcelona game to now. Actually, I'll even go further than the Barcelona game. From the Liverpool game that we won in the last minute when Estevao scored and Maresca ran down the touchline and celebrated with everybody. From then to now, like, I mean, it's almost like a train crash, right? Like, it's everything that you could have thought could have possibly gone wrong went wrong. Maresca came out and made his comments very openly about how he felt that the board treated him or was treating him, and I don't know if that had an effect on the games post that. Um, we have we have continued to have a poor December, as we have done for the past few years, and it just continued this year. And I mean, at some point, something was always going to happen, and unfortunately, it happened to be him. I saw a report today that said that he was so frustrated by it and everything that happened that he walked. Like he didn't even get sacked. Like he walked, so he's not
Mm-hmm.
getting his compensation. And I think like his compensation is like something north of 10 million. So I mean, like for you to walk away from something like that, it had to be real bad. And I just feel like, boy, it says so much about um where the club is. It says so much about what the club is trying to do, as well as all these stories that have come out about the sporting directors, and whether you choose to believe it or not, or whether they are true or not, about they have a say in whether who plays and who doesn't play, and who comes on and who isn't a sub,
Mm-hmm.
and who subs on for a certain number of minutes, and those kind of things. It's really been an eye opener. I think for everybody, because on one hand, you're thinking to yourself, "Wow, like I can't believe a club is really being um, run with all those types of stipulations." And then on the other hand, you're
Yeah, boy.
thinking of it as wow, Maresca had all those stipulations, and yet he still managed to find a lot of success in a team that has been doubted from ever since the new ownership has taken over. So I feel like it's just to me, it's a very sad day.
Yeah, boy.
I thought Maresca would have gone by the end of the season. I didn't think he would have left mid-season. I still don't know if that's the best idea, but we'll only find out at the end of the season. But it's been quite a roller coaster 2025 for a Chelsea fan, between all the ups and the downs, and there have been a lot of ups, and there have been even more downs, if you could believe that. So it's quite a way to start off the year as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, as a rival fan, obviously, anything that looks like it could destabilize Chelsea, I'm completely in favor of it. But even as a fan of another club, I really felt saddened by it truly because it felt like this is the first manager of the five so far that has taken some sort of reign over Chelsea under the Bluco era. That really did seem like he was pushing the team forward and pushing them finally the direction that not necessarily ownership was in it, but fans felt like he was getting back to what they know being. Right? We know Chelsea our whole lives. We competed for the biggest trophies. And it felt like if they were, even if they weren't there right now, they were heading in that trajectory again. And what it feels like as an outsider is that they were not willing to compromise on some of their desires and their principle and their arcs or their strategy for somebody who actually was pushing the project forward. I was making fans happy. I was giving trophies to the team. And again, we hear about all these constraints, working within those and still having the club pushing in the right direction. So just quickly, floor bottom about Aidan and Virgil, feel free any one of you all to go. What is your thoughts looking on the outside in to what is the Chelsea managerial situation?
Um, to me is unfortunate as a fan of the game, whether you like Chelsea or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think seeing younger managers succeed is something that football fans should want and be happy to see. Um, and to see this happen to a young manager, essentially frustrated out the job. And as Brandon said, to give up a compensation that big, it has to mean one or two things, right? That is, he maybe has a fallback plan, or it was that bad. And we've all been in jobs where sometimes, we feel like it's that toxic that we have to leave. And so kudos to
Yeah.
Enzo for taking the high road and doing what he had to do. But it is unfortunate. Funny enough, after my manager's comments today, we might be seeing something similar at United, where there's a tactic
Yeah, but
disconnect between the board and the manager. And my take is BS. Um, for the if you're hiring a manager, you're hiring him for his tactics, you're hiring him for his team selection. I don't find the high up should be involved in it, but these new owners seem to think differently.
yeah. Virgil, before you jump in, I remember there's something I wanted to say too, right? Is that I can't say definitively, but I do wonder if this has a knock on effect for other coaches coming into this job. In the sense that, like, we seen somebody do well. Like, seriously, no, like, whether you like Chelsea or not, he was doing well. And we all know by now that modern managers don't really have that much of a say as previous eras did in terms of building their squads, right? Probably Chelsea is one of those more so given their strategy, whatever. Give her that, he still did really well. And what would an experienced manager being approached for the job like if Chelsea was ever to approach the Luis Enrique's types of the world, what would they say then? Not like, even if I'm doing well, but I'm not listening to all of your boundaries and your lines, that I am being threatened. Like what does that say? So it'll be interesting to see. Virgil, before we move on this.
Yeah, it's a very confusing situation because we know from everything that he had at Chelsea and for where they are right now in the table. The season hasn't been too bad, honestly, with everything. And I felt like with the manager that they had is somebody who is up and coming. And if they were going into the roles where they feel like they could push to get somebody else in their future, whatever, yeah, you can't never know because managers like this, they feel like we at a kind of shift right now in a new era of managers, a new crop of managers coming up, and this is something that Chelsea could be ahead of the curve with having a manager like Maresca, because we're seeing
Yeah.
him how he's seeing the tactics he implemented Chelsea and the way the football he have been playing. Chelsea fans have been accepting of his tactics. So for all this to happen just so quick and it just seemed very rash, I feel like it does a lot more hurt to the season right now than anything else.
Yeah. And with that being said, guys, let's go into the Chelsea versus Man City game. So, Virgil, I don't on you, so let's continue with you, right? What was the thoughts going into the game? Obviously, this was a pretty tough week to take for you. You know, you went from 2 points behind to now 6 points behind with two draws. Long may continue. And it was at a last minute equalizer from Enzo Fernandez on the day. So, before I get Brandon's temperature check on the day, what was your feeling going into it and how the
Yeah,
game went?
just going into it, I feel like with all the uncertainty, I feel like there was I can't admit that I felt that you'll be susceptible to the kind of these type of things, these type of moments where teams lose their manager and they happen to bounce back. But I felt like with all the negatives, I feel like the positives outweigh it. I felt like how we played against our previous game against Sunderland, it wasn't too bad. Sunderland was just really good on the day. And going into this game, I felt like we could take advantage of everything that's going on at Chelsea right now and really just get back to winning ways. So going into the game, I was
Yep.
pretty confident. And well, I mean, Brandon said how 2026 has been a roller coaster for Chelsea fans, but the way how that game play, I didn't see that because we just try our best. We heard Chelsea fans having a bad 2026. We said, you know what? Let's give all something to smile about. Let's try and brighten up all the year. Eh?
Don't say Brighton too
Brandon.
loud, or no? You might a Chelsea board member might come out of nowhere.
Brother. I have spoken to my brother obviously going into this game. He came by me to watch it, and it was like he felt entirely deflated going into it. Like he didn't even know what he wanted out of the game anymore because it does feel like somebody here get pulled out of this season. That I know the last month hasn't been that good of results wise for Chelsea, but it still feel like it has a season with a lot to get out of it. You know. So given how the game went, how was he feeling right now?
Well, I guess the game was kind of for all the Chelsea fans who really wanted to lose the game because they wanted Chelsea to be closer to Arsenal. The worst excuse, if you ask me, or the worst reasoning you could ever ask for in the game. Um,
Yeah.
but I also felt very similar to as you said about your brother. I didn't know how to feel about the game. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who was gonna step up at all. Um, because we were also without Caicedo, and I told you before that I think it was a mistake to not start Santos in the game because
Yep.
we clearly couldn't deal with the midfield with Reece and Enzo by themselves. And you could see that when Santos came on, the game really changed in our favor, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Even though City continued to play really well, I actually thought City played really well in the game. I think they should have scored at least two more goals. I'm being so honest. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, Haaland hit the post. I mean, like it came directly pinged off the post as
Yeah.
came out. So I mean, we had to count our blessings in that respect. But this has been a theme of the season. I mean, John, because we've done so many of the pods together this season. Like I've in nearly every game, every big game that we've played this season, I probably have praised Enzo Fernandez more than any player.
Yeah, bro, by
Along with
far.
Reece James, it's very similar to the Liverpool game that we played a long time ago. I just thought the two of them were just phenomenal today, and they really stood up when I don't think anybody else was. I saw a stat that Enzo is our second highest he has the second highest contributions of any Chelsea player for the past 2 years since the start of the 24-25 season. And it's like one behind Palmer or something like that, which is kind of crazy. But he just continues to be what I would expect from a Chelsea player, and Reese as well. And the game really changed with all the subs. Delap came on and he gave us a little extra bite in the game. Santos was excellent when he came on. I can't
Yeah,
say
bro.
enough about how good he was. We made another sub. I try and remember who was the other
It was
substitution.
Hato.
Hato.
Hato, yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my god, that
I
that
thought he
that
was pretty
tackle,
good
that tackle that
Mm-hmm.
he made was so clutch. Oh my
on
goodness.
Pulling
Haaland.
the,
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
pulling the
Haaland, that
rabbit
was
out
so.
of the Hato.
Yeah, boy, he pulled the rabbit out of the hat. He himself was the rabbit coming out of the hat because Haaland didn't expect him coming.
Yeah.
But all I will say, boy, is that and I don't know if other Chelsea fans feel this way, but my whole thing now is that I I need to see what these players are made of, because the guy is coming in the middle of the season. People have always talked about no preseason, So, he's not going to be able to get his ideas across. I know Aidan probably sick of hearing that. But, like it the only people that can change the season right now is the players. I don't think Rafinha is gonna come in and like we're gonna be amazing because I don't think that's what's gonna happen. Everything is
Yeah.
on them, and games like today and performances like today from like those players, that's what I want to see for the rest of the season. And I
Mm-hmm.
I think in the end, based on everything that I saw in the game, I think a draw was probably very fair. And big up Callum McFarlane, bro. Like I don't know. I heard somebody say McFarlane is a family guy. I don't know if it's true or not, if it was just a joke. But 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 I'll give him credit where credit is due. I don't think anybody thought he was gonna do anything. He
Yeah.
came up against Pep. It's not easy to get a point against Pep. Far less to win against Pep. So
Yeah.
I guess a fair result in the end. I guess.
Hey, the man undefeated for his whole senior
Yeah, it's
career
all
as a
senior
coach,
career,
right?
boy.
Look, I want to get into some players as well, right? So I thought, like, this is so funny, right? You would hear the criticism of Haaland being like, he doesn't do anything outside the goals. Whereas today, I thought he was absolutely excellent outside of when it came to finish. So this whole up, it was I thought when he was running at them was
I thought
so
so as
good.
well.
But his movement was insane. Imagine, dog, that one that hit the post, the way that my stream was, I swore that was in the net. And I just saw next to it, I was like, yeah, cool.
Hit that
I want to
perfectly, right?
pick dog. Like he could do anything else better,
Yeah,
right?
the take, the
Um,
shift, everything.
Yeah.
yeah, like it was
By
so
one
good.
oh.
But I think that actually forget going into players just yet. I think that I'm seeing something with City that I'm not sure if you all feel the same. So I just throw it out there, right? Like we are seeing that Pep has been using the same 11 repeatedly, right? Obviously, the one change today was Rodri coming in because Nico Gonzalez went down injured, right? And I think that today and Sunderland, I saw them physically start to really fade away in the second half. And I want to know if you all have a concern of where City, if the other team really does start to ramp up that physicality, they can't cope as the game goes on. I felt like I saw that today, especially when Andrew Santos came in and it became a three-man midfield and they couldn't have just knock it past them. They had the numbers to match them. It became a lot harder for them. So, did you all feel like you see City struggling in second halves, or is that, just me just trying to find a false correlation to the results?
I wouldn't.
Um,
Hmm. But
like,
you go do that's your side. You talk first.
okay, cause for what you're saying there is true, but we also have to give mention to that, from since the last game, it really was just honestly 2 full days of us, and
Yep.
Pep had
Yep.
eight starters from that game, and I felt like obviously we know that tired people just do a lot of tired things, and I feel like a lot of these stupid decisions and a lot of those poor decisions came down to a lot of tiredness and tired legs. So in a moment like this, it was good for Chelsea to capitalize and put a lot more physicality into the game because it really did. The City players now have to rely on the sharpness, and I feel like a lot of the decision making is what threw City off because even looking down to how that goal led up, we're looking at the likes of Chuck, he had the ball, a simple pass could have been played, and the overcomplication. You can look at the overcomplication, look at it as tiredness. It really led to free kick. Then led we saw we know what else happened. So yeah, I feel like in a moment like this, we understand that City good in tight spaces, good at playing out. But yeah, as I mentioned, one thing even going back to the a game we lost in the season against Brighton. If teams come out there and you have those physical players, Brighton with those physical defenders, it really causes City problems. So that's an area that you know if you can't beat City tactically, you can't beat them when it comes to skill. The physicality is always there, and that's our worry.
No, Virgil, what you mentioned earlier, that is probably more what I was trying to get at, is the tiredness
Mhm.
that I do think having to use the same 11 constantly and, well, not having, he's choosing it, right? Like, for example, right, Kusanov came on this week, right? Dog, I find it so funny. He covered against the same opponent that he embarrassed himself against last year. And
Mhm.
he was real good. Like,
He's
he
real good.
saved City so many times, bro.
He's so
And to be
rapid,
fair,
bro.
I think he had some good games this season, right? But, like, he didn't play. Rico Lewis didn't start. Like I do think that there might not be the vast amount of opportunity to rotate because obviously Savino pick up a knock last game. You have two players out at AFCON and then you have a bunch of midfield injuries. So I'm not saying that's ideal, but
Hmm.
I'm saying the same thing that you was alluding to, that I do think the tiredness is taking its toll as the game stretches forward.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
especially I thought Ford was good in the first half, but I thought him and Chuck in particular, the second half was really poor. In terms of the decision making, in terms of ball retention, and it feels like it is taking the toll of the Christmas period and how hectic it could be. But the same men having to play right through, and it's starting to take its toll on the players because we know that as players get tired, the execution starts to slip, right? They don't
Hmm.
be as focused, they're just trying to get off and that kind of stuff. And I feel like it's like before I let that talk, just because you mentioned the goal again, I sit next to my brother watching this, right? And I let out the biggest groan when I realized this man would go so run off the wing with the ball, right? At the same speed, my brother was like, dog, this one end product is dog, right? And he put the cross, I said, hey, ball, like, and then he fumbled up and he goes class it, dog. I cannot believe that actually happened. But yeah, you was going to say on everything me and Virgil now talk about that.
No, no, just to kind of reiterate the points there. I fitness has a or fatigue has a part to play, but the festive fixtures, I mean, all teams kind of stretched at this point. I think City's main downfall today was just not taking them chances in the first half, especially, and
Yeah.
Chelsea did create a lot of half chances. I felt like something was coming just watching the game,
It
especially
felt
if
like something was coming, yeah.
yeah, if Neto could
Yeah.
have
We gotta talk about that man. We have
yeah
to talk
man,
about
Yeah.
that man now
Yeah.
because
if his decision making was a little better, boy, like bro, it could have been a completely different result. But I think the draw was deserved based on the balance of play. And credit, I'll give Liam Delap some credit. He has been pretty bad.
but bro, honest to God, he showed way more than whatever Joe Pedro was doing. Cause that
Yeah,
man done.
he was
Like
turning and running in behind. He was actually
like
being
Hmm.
physical.
let me tell you this, right, dog? Brandon is one of my best friends, right, dog? When it comes to football, I just really had no sympathy for him, right? Because here we support the rival clubs, right? I hear this man for 2 years complain about João Pedro as a Brighton player, right, dog? Then he had to see him sign. And I know that man was so not in favor he signed him, but he come to Club World Cup, he look good, right, nice, we'll get that chance, we see how the season start. Dog, watching this man play is absolutely infuriating, dog. This man, and I see this, and my strikers Gyökeres, dog, right?
Yeah, minus
You see
Cesco, right?
strikers that cannot hold the ball long, and then when they do get under control, they lose all brain capacity. That is infuriating. Like absolutely infuriating. And as we talk about players, I was infuriated, Brandon. Did you know that Petronetta having his best goal scorer season?
Yes, I do. I did actually.
Was that 4, 5?
That's crazy.
That's a
That's
lot.
Is
crazy.
That's not a lot,
six
eh?
is
That's not a
no
lot.
actually I lie. Is no, it's actually more than
I
that.
think he has
I
been
took a
decent.
screenshot
I'll
today.
be in hash. Yesterday he
Now,
was.
he had some decent. He has 9 and 3. I don't know if that 9 include the Club World Cup because the Club World Cup considered, or was that the end of last season? I don't know. I'll check it out while you're talking. But yes, it does include the 3 at the Club World Cup. So
Yeah, well, that was last season. That can't be the season.
well, that went hard on football. So with all the Club World Cup, it is in 27 games. He has 6 goals this season.
Yeah. I
Best
mean,
goals for a season though. Yeah.
bro. I mean, if it's, I mean, I sure we all saw the stats of that. Gabriel has met his Premier League goal
Yeah.
tally already. Gabriel has
Yeah.
played centre back all his life. He also came into the league after Pedro Neto. Um,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Pedro Neto also played for our Wolves team. That he was also the main guy for a long time, and he still only has 20 Premier League goals, which is crazy. Um, but John, I mean, I remember talking to you about this earlier in the season, and it was all about the scrutiny that players are under, depending on what
Yeah.
club they are at.
Yeah.
And as I've told you before, Neto has been doing this his entire career. As you can tell, prior to Chelsea, he had he had whatever the number of Premier League goals was before that. And
Yeah.
now, when you as a club like Chelsea, everything you do is under a microscope. Like there were so many times today where Neto got the ball and I literally sat back in my seat because I knew the attack was going to die. Like it literally went straight there and the attack just died. Like he doesn't.
Bro,
Once he gets the ball, he's not trying to beat his man to go past him. He always plays it back. He cuts back. Even his shot, even the goal that he missed in front of the goal. I don't know what else Enzo Fernandez could have done for him to give him the ball in front of the goal with a clear shot at goal
on his
for him to
strong
sky
foot.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
on
on his
his
strong foot
foot.
to
Yeah.
sky it. Like I don't know what else you could possibly say, boy. And I think like
no, boy, and,
that
and
is
the thing is, right?
that's the story of the
We,
wingers of our wingers this season. Like it's just been
yeah. So I was
awful
gonna ask,
every
right,
day.
like, why Garnacho injured or something? Like, I was so surprised he didn't come on. You know,
Hey,
because
hey,
I really don't know why. I really don't know why he didn't come on. The thing about Neto boy is that
I
Neto's
know the work
work
rate.
rate
You
is
get
so high.
that.
His work rate is
Yeah,
so high, and I guess for an interim manager, like you can't take off a player who giving you 100% for 90 minutes. I guess.
yeah. I mean,
But
I, I was going
I
to
wish you
say,
could give him a
boy,
10% in like the final third though, instead of like
yeah.
one. I'd rather take that.
I was going to say, right, like, but I think Neto in himself kind of paint a false picture of how the second half was going, right? Because I do think that it make it look like if Chelsea just grab a draw at the end, right? And I mean, according to the fact sheet, that is what it will look like, right? But I do think that Chelsea really did shift the momentum in that second half, you know. I do think Andre Santos came on and played really well, and I think somewhere around like 65th minute, it really started to get really stretched. And I do think that if Pedro Neto could have get two brain cells to get a little synapse together, then if they had scored earlier, then it would have been a whole different game. You know, and I'm not saying that I win, they might have even still lose it from there because then City might have had more time and whatever. But I see that it painted the picture that Chelsea just buckled down and they was holding in the whole time and then the last bit of the game they snapped something. And I don't think that was the case. Any other individuals that you all want to talk about? I think a big talking point coming out of this game for City is that it looks like Gvardiol is out. That injury looking really bad. We still
mhm.
waiting for official confirmation of what it is, but he definitely gonna be out for a few weeks. It look somebody said Achilles, which could be
He
even
didn't
Nah,
bad
have
if it is.
it
he
didn't
needed
look
he
like
didn't
an
have to come
Achilles
off.
to me.
I didn't find so either, but that is what I saw somebody say online, and also
Mhm.
Ruben Diaz also did come up, you know. And I mean, poor Ruben Diaz, he get dog ragged by Robbie in midweek, and then he get dog ragged by the laughing this weekend. You know? He probably need a little break, literally. He not as young
But
as he
the
was.
thing about it, that means it's only two fit centre backs in Kusanov and Ake, and at that point you better just chop them as one because Ake never fit.
That's true. I wanna say one thing. Because and
Yeah,
it's kind of weird because I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm gonna say this, but and this is the first part of the year, so I mean, I really want to put this out there early as possible. I really want to say, boy, I think like Cherky has really been one of the revelations of the season
yes, 100%.
because I can't begin to tell y'all how impressed I am, not at how he plays, because that alone is very impressive and nice to watch, but the way he has filled the creativity gap in the team is incredible. Like people have said, who is going to replace De Bruyne? How are they
Yeah,
going to get Foden to be more creative? And how are they going to get all these goals to Haaland and whatever? Like, and today was one of Turkey's poorer games,
yeah,
and I still think he was pretty good even outside of his poor decision making at the end. But
yeah,
is he is really one of those players, boy, that I really feel like he's taken the league by storm, and it's so nice to see because it was a big worry, yeah. And I know Verge could talk about it better than me, but that creativity gap, boy, has been such a big talking point ever since De
Mhm.
Bruyne has been injured, and I feel like he has done so well in filling that void, and I'm so impressed that again we all got him for like what 30 million,
Yeah,
crazy work.
I mean, for me, what today was for him was like as the second half was going, like this is his first season playing English football, right? And all the demands that comes with it, right? I feel like he probably hit a little block in terms of fatigue in the second half for me, because like as you say, now he's been sensational, and we saw City pull away a few 2-1s and a few close games across this stretch. even like the Palace 3-0 game. And if you go back and watch those games, he has been so decisive in getting those results over the line, and I'll be for one of the signings of the season. Um, Anything else in particular to talk about coming out of this? Anything you all want to talk about? Feel free to say anything. Um,
Can I ask the three of y'all a question?
sure.
Yeah.
Um, Based on everything that has happened to Chelsea in the past week and a half, maybe, and considering who we're gonna get as a manager later on, do y'all think do y'all have any adjustments you would make, or where do you think we will finish at the end of the season based on everything so far?
Mm.
My
Well,
prediction stays the same, bro.
I don't
You
think
still think
I
we'll
anybody
finish
want.
fifth?
Clearly, nobody
yeah,
wants Champions League football the way everybody is
Clearly.
doing.
there's an
Yep.
spotlight, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If
Nah, but
Rosinia plays
mhm.
similar style, I could see you all finishing top five. So,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it'll definitely
Liverpool,
be a top five finish. I wouldn't go so far as my predictions beginning of the season because I think I had Chelsea was second, but
Second.
I feel like yeah, it will be a top five finish.
So I was talking to somebody else who was on that pod recently. Somebody who said that Chelsea was in the title race. Same person who said that Chelsea finished above Arsenal and I think. When I asked him about that, he all of a sudden can't remember saying that. But
Mm.
my dear friend, who's one of my best friends, but the man had the memory about goldfish when it comes to them things. So I would
That's why we just
leave
do
it for
pods.
now. That is why we just
Yeah,
do pause. Dog, I don't even know where I put the book. The book for takes, I don't know where I put it in the move. It is some box somewhere. Alright guys, if it have nothing else, alright, so let me take a quick temperature check. Right? This was the big game for the weekend, so this was the one we was gonna talk long on for this weekend, right? But temperature check on both teams. So well, brother, ask about Chelsea there, right? And I mean, I guess we all kind of say we still think they should finish where we all probably had them at the start. I mean, you had them fourth, right? Do you feel like you think fourth? I don't think it's straightforward. I by no means think it's straightforward. Okay, but what the top four races right now? But are you feeling big concerns? I mean, I guess it's hard to answer that before you see Liam come into the job, right?
Yeah, the irony is that y'all play in Liverpool next weekend and they're right above us as well. So I mean that also throws another spanner into the works as well. But I'm gonna stick with the fourth for now. I mean, if anything, I do think we might finish maybe fifth at the least.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there might be a gap in between fourth and fifth. Um, I can't see I based on everything because we played half the game so far, right? Like, and I don't know if we could better the first half in the second half of the season, and that to me is the biggest worry of Rosinier coming in. That is will be his biggest task for the second half of the season, just trying to do better than the first half of the season.
I mean, if we just take like a quick look at some of the fixtures you're coming, obviously there's cup games coming up. You're playing us in the cup. You're going away to Charlton. When the
Yeah,
league, you're going to Fulham. You're the host Brentford. You have some UCL games that you need to win because you haven't qualified as yet. You're going away to Palace. So it's not the worst run of fixtures coming in for him to try to get some momentum going. And with City, with the temperature check on City, I think I did not think that City would have been the main part of the title race this year, but obviously they've exceeded that expectation, and it was because of the wild card of knowing how somewhere like Turkey would have adapted. He adapted seamlessly well. Um, which I want to ask, I saw, which I find so incredulous, but I saw some City fans online complaining about Erling Haaland and made it
not
make
this
it
crap
fit
again.
make it feel comes from and about how I even saw that Haaland is plotting on the downfall of Foden, that he doesn't score Foden passes apparently.
Oh yeah, boy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw that one.
boo-hoo, my
So
striker
yeah,
scored
boy.
50 goals a season. Must be
Yeah,
nice.
boy.
yeah, it must
yeah,
be. That's how it must be a
yeah,
horrendous life to live, boy. You
yeah.
know?
Must be nice.
So Virgil, how are you feeling then? Obviously I know this is a rough week, to go from 2 points to six in a matter of literally a week. But how you feeling?
No, but that's exactly what I was going to respond. I was going to look at the race for the Golden Boot. Haaland right now is leading the Golden Boot for obvious reasons, so you can't really fault him too much. He is contributing a lot more from than just scoring goals. We could clearly see how he's adapted this game. But for City, yeah, you would always have that confidence from time to the past and know that we were in moments like this before, and we will obviously bounce back. But the main thing is that Sunderland one, you can't really feel too hard by it because going at home to Sunderland is tough. This Chelsea one just felt like a big slip. It felt like a lot of wasted chances. So there are a lot of lessons there, and you feel like with all the games that coming up, that they could obviously learn from these lessons. They could obviously take these into consideration. So you really just hope for them to use this and actually move forward in a positive way. So I wouldn't really go so far and say the panic button hit or to really worry about it. It's still early, still a lot more games to play, and you just hope for the players to respond.
Yeah. Actually, on that note that you say that, I wanted to say something, but I will save that for when we talk about Liverpool. Are we going with this game as the game of the week?
Oh, that's a good
Because I kind
question.
of want to put the
I
I kind
gotta,
of want to put the Liverpool game as the game of the week.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know both sides want to put Liverpool on.
Sure.
So
Okay. Who will I taken from this game though?
I was gonna say Enzo, not just because he scored, but he was fantastic.
Nah,
He was
yeah,
playing through
I
that
gotta
game.
say, yeah, I gotta say Enzo. If not Enzo, Rich James.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
I
boy.
cool with it.
That's I guess it's
But I
one of
find
the.
Reece James grew into the game more. He didn't
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
very start out strongly,
Yeah,
but
I agree with that. I totally. I actually think he was very lucky to not get sent off.
oh
Because
yeah,
I think he
most
made two. I
definitely.
think he made
Definitely.
two very reckless challenges in the first half
Yeah,
that should
Mm-hmm.
have at least gotten him one yellow card, and he got a yellow card later on. So I
Yeah.
mean, I think it was very fortunate. But I agree with you. Though. He grew into the game, and I think Enzo, from 0 to 90, I think he was exceptional throughout the entire game.
yeah.
So
Was
He,
he?
he
No,
was.
well, Reese is only official captain, but I really
yeah,
think Enzo does a lot to lead the team as well, though, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah, cool. All right, going on to Liverpool then. So when it is you score guys in 90 plus 6, you usually think, what, that is the day, that is all she wrote. But if you read the script, sometimes that is not all the plot has for you. And sometimes it's the smallest people that pop out with the biggest impacts. That being said, guys, Liverpool drew 2-2 at Craven Cottage. And the thing I was going to say that I would say now is that I know it's a cliche, but I think this season, and if you watch the table, I think it proves it to be truer than ever. There is no easy away grounds in this league, except for probably like two. I willing to hear that Burnley away easy, and I willing to hear that that Wolves and West Ham away might be easy. But I can't say like a Wolves beat out West Ham 3-0 this weekend, right? And so when
Man,
we see people struggling with Wolves recently, right? So but my point is, I really don't think that there is easy away grounds in this league. And I'm not that's not to say that your Man Cities and your Arsenals and your Chelseas and whatever shouldn't expect to go away and win. But or shouldn't go there to win. But bro, there is no easy away ground. I think this year these clubs have been so good at making sure that their home fans feel represented on the pitch, and have not given up no matter the cause. That being said, 2-1 between Fulham and Liverpool. Hey, and to be fair, Fulham have tried to treat us some really nice games at Craven Cottage, and they hosted Chelsea next, so we'll see what else they have in store. They took the lead with Wilson, who's been having a fantastic December and against his former club. Then Vert scored a very controversial goal. Then Gakpo scored what he thought was the winner, but ultimately he thought he was being a Liverpool hero, but really he was being a Tottenham reenactment as he suffered the spirit of Richarlison
full of
to
jerseys.
then take off his jersey for them to only concede a minute later to Harrison Reed, who came off the bench. And so with that, I wanted this to be the game of the season just because of how the ending really was. Game of the week, sorry, how the ending really was. But how you guys thought about this one? I know Brandon, you wasn't home for this one, but what you guys thought about it?
Well, I want to start on this because I'll get this point out of the
Sure.
way.
Yeah.
Um, you said controversial, right? Well, let me tell you what's controversial about it. He was offside.
He was
Like
offside.
I have
And
That
no
was
I
idea.
offside. That was
let,
offside.
I
let me
have
tell you
no
something, yeah?
idea.
My FPL was happy. But I cannot believe that stood. That was egregious, dog. I cannot believe that.
I
VAR
don't like
again.
there are literally two reference points in the still image, right? One is the line of the grass. That's the first line of
That's what.
point of reference.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is the penalty spot. and you can clearly tell that Wirtz is ahead, like closer or if not in line with the penalty spot than the Fulham
Mm-hmm.
defender. So I have no idea how what they use to draw that line. I'm convinced that the VAR line or the offside line is crooked. Like it makes
Mm-hmm.
no sense to me, bro. Like how is it that I can see this with my naked eye? And
Mm-hmm.
it's not a situation where the image is like it's very close or something like that,
Yeah,
and I
it's
need an
not.
X
It's not
angle.
even
I can
close.
see it from this angle that he's offside. Like I can't wait for the audio of this to come out, just so that we
Yeah,
can be
go
like,
on.
oh well, Fulham was hard done by, bro. 2 points dropped. Hard lucks, fellas. We will get right next time. Like
Yeah, but
it's
go on,
so it's so
go on.
poor, man. It's so
Let,
poor.
let me say it for what it is, right? Because it's not like we are in Liverpool fans here, right? We all know if it was the other way around, it'd be this whole thing about how everybody against Liverpool and that how they're out to take them down and his agenda against Klopp and his agenda against the Scouts and whatever it is. Like when it was that they made a horrendous error regarding the Luis Diaz goal against Spurs, right? And how that was talked about for weeks. This can't get swept under the rug. In fact, I barely see people talk about it online even now. And the reason though is because Liverpool fall out of relevancy where they should have been. So people just kind of lay whatever going on with them by the wayside. But that is rubbish, though. That is absolute rubbish. Um, what's his name? Ekitike was missing for this game. Wood started on top. And I messaged Brandon during the game, not knowing that he was out for lunch, to say, bro, I don't know if you're watching this game, but it's so easy to play through Liverpool right now. It's genuinely so easy. Now, give another play in them next. I probably shouldn't say those things, right? Because then all of a sudden they might want
Famous
to tighten
last
up
words,
and
boy.
whatever, right? But it's so easy to just pop them through the middle, bro. Like Fulham were playing three at the back, so four across the midfield and the two supporting Raul, right? And the way that they manage to just always find pockets of play through them is so amazing. You know what, guys? I reverted what I said just now. This game, though, deserves taking two men from. Let me take the two men from the City versus the City versus Chelsea game, right? So, real quickly, I'll give a second player from that game. Now. If all they want to put Reece as well, I don't have a problem with that. But given that Declan Rice has to go into this, we got to be mindful of how much midfielders we picking. Eh?
Mhm.
I feel like
Yeah,
I
So,
that's
can't
if,
true.
put two Chelsea men though. I don't know if that's
yeah, I
that's
don't
one
feel in
thing.
that one
Yeah,
all draw. So, um, until the goal, I thought Nico Riley was good.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
he is
kind of messed
strictly
up
good.
on the goal. Um, Reinders did score, but I don't really think. To be honest, I actually thought Bernardo Silva had a really good game.
Was
Mm.
there not a
Um,
better game this weekend? Like I feel like there was a better
Dice
game.
was well. The other one is pro. I
No, well,
mean,
why we just don't take from Bournemouth Arsenal? That was a good
okay,
game.
cool, cool. We can take from
That
board with
was
Arsenal then.
That's true, you know.
yeah, that was an electric game.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what it is that y'all want? No, no, not y'all want. Sorry. What y'all have to say out in about Liverpool and Fulham right now? I think Fulham ended up having a pretty strong December. I think Liverpool have huffed and puffed, but not always been. I mean, bro, who it is they draw nil with Leeds though? They drew nil with Leeds at Anfield, and they had a
They've
scrappy
been on
second
like a
half against
9 game
Wolves.
unbeaten run, Liverpool.
Yeah, they are on a beaten run. We should say that.
Bunch of
So they
draws.
did
That's right.
stabilize the ship, but it still doesn't feel.
It's like under my Christmas tree for Christmas, boy. Once of that draws.
All draws.
Yeah. But they are fourth. They are fourth. But they are a way off third. Like between fourth and 12th is 6 points. Like, and if you make it um 7 points, you can stretch that all the way down to 14th.
14th.
Damn.
That yeah, it's pretty crazy on there.
And
So
potentially there's like eight points here.
so why yeah, so the floor is open, guys. Anything you all want to say about these two teams? Give my temperature check how it is, and then we can get a player for this game.
I think Fulham deserve the draw at least. They have been very solid, especially at home.
Yeah.
They're already a walkover team, not necessarily the most electric team to watch, um, but a lot of good individual performances. I had a big up Harry Wilson, the short
Yeah,
brother.
boy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
as Gabriel Santicazola vibes on him, boy.
Bro, and he hit the bar. Dog, he
Yeah.
hit the bar to make when it was 1-all.
That
Though.
chip, I thought he would have scored. Yeah, he's normally back them things. Like,
Yeah, though, especially for he was in.
but
Um,
but
but
yeah, well, these and I will reiterate what you said that Liverpool kind of just easy to play against right now, and this is stretching back to well the whole season. They haven't been like the team that everybody feared, and this today with Sobo, with Gravenberg, McAllister, and our midfield. So and that's like they're probably the three best.
And
Um,
Jones.
yeah, them
Well,
characters.
somebody messaged me something about Jones today, and I didn't see it in this light before, but I agree with it. I don't know if the person want credit though, so I feel for now, does the person want credit? So this person messaged me to say that Curtis Jones is like one of them players, like, and he compared to Conor Gallagher, right? When Gallagher was at Chelsea, right? Where Gallagher looks good, but the team doesn't do well. And so you praise Gallagher for him looking good all the time, but the team is not functioning. And honestly, when he told me that, and he told me that during the game, I couldn't unsee it in the game, and is really something to look out for there. But obviously, guys, we all know this Liverpool season is ultra disappointing. There's no matter no way you could shape it that could change it from that this unbeaten run of nine to still have them. Let's check 12 points, 14 points off first place for who was the runaway champions elect. You know that is just not good enough. However, last year January, Arsenal hosted the reigning champions and beat them 5-1. Hosted the reigning
Hmm.
champions on Tuesday, dog. What I would do for a reenactment, please, for favor. But we'll see. Anything else y'all want to say? Brandon, Virgil, anything at all you want to say about Liverpool, about Fulham? Big
Yeah.
up Raul, by the way, who started back to find some form again over this Christmas period. It feels like he is always eternal, and we always cite like how unfortunate his injury was, and always he's been one of our favorite strikers to see. And like his flickers, bro, like it is demonic, though. That man always know how to find a runner, boy, and we saw it again today. So, are we going Harry Wilson then for the player of this
Oh
game?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ball.
cool.
If it was goals of the season, Harrison Reed definitely getting in there.
For
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
That was a hit, boy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That thing,
Cool.
that clipped the bottom of the crossbar,
Yeah.
on his way in. Jesus.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, right as before he hit that shot, the commentator he said Liverpool kind of let this slip, and then that shot went in. And like, it was like, yep,
Right?
it's like they can,
Bro,
they definitely
dog,
can.
And
dog.
he
I
will.
was I
He
was
will.
watching the game, right? And Gakpo scored, I said, dog, fair play. All right, you get away with it, right? I got to take off the game to go outside, dog. And all I hear was these screams. Dog. I was like, no way, no way, no way. Cool. Another draw that happened this weekend. We are here to host therapy to our boy Eden. It's a 1-all at Leeds where I heard the performance wasn't great. I heard it wasn't great. And it's been rough. And I was listening to Culture Camps today on his post match reactions. Um, I kind of believe that I just actually listened to Culture. If you had told me this 3 years ago, I'd have been so disbelief. But I think his growth as a creator has been fantastic. Um, he said today though that he feels like every other team is begging United to really take the lead in this top four race, and they keep throwing it away. And when you look at the table, that you're only 3 points off fourth, it does feel like that. And when you watch like some of the fixtures y'all have, and then the performances, it just doesn't feel like the performances match a team that should be chasing Champions League football. So, floor is open, bro. How you feel about the game today, and then obviously bigger picture.
Um, the draw, I wasn't too upset with it given the nature of the squad right now. The fact that we have three fit attackers, which is crazy. One being Xerxes,
Yeah,
who actually kudos to him. He was one of the better players when he came on.
yeah,
But
I heard so.
the frustrating thing with United is that we shouldn't have been in this position. Even if we had all these injuries and so forth, the game's gone by where we dropped so much points from winning positions.
Hmm.
That has us where we are now. And the funny thing is, again, is the manager. It will always fall on the manager. Yes, the player performances haven't been great. I would say, especially with the attacking side of it, we have been scoring a lot of set pieces. But
Hmm.
the manager again started with this back five. He did it against Wolves. He stuck with it against Everton, 10-man Everton. And the moment he switched the back four, we scored. Literally. As he brought on Zixi, boom, goal. 2 minutes after goal. And we actually looked threatening. Yes, we did give Leeds much more space, but I much rather that. I much rather see us attack with some vigor and some penetration, give up a few chances. That's no problem.
Excuse.
But it has been a story of United season inconsistency, and frustrating is probably the least you could say. But all in
Mm-hmm.
all, I can't be pleased overall based on where the team is at. And especially given that all our competitors right now for their top five are in European competition, as far as I'm aware. You could correct me if I'm wrong. So everybody playing more than once a week when they have European games on. We have a whole week to prepare for these games. So I could give him the manager length based on the injuries. Yes, that bench was dreadful, but at the same time, we should have been in a stronger position at this point in time. We should have been at least 9, 10 points to the better. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not pleased, and honestly, based on his comments, after the game, which was pretty damning, he essentially said the board trying
Well,
to mess with his
so
stuff. So
I,
I don't know
I
how long he
have
will be here, and we'll be in our next position where
I
we
have, I have
see
somebody
him go
quote
again.
here where he said, I just want to say that I came here to be manager of Man United, not the head coach. That is going to finish in 18 months and then everyone is going to move on. That's the deal. That's my job. And then this evening, we had reports from both Ben Jacobs, and Alex Crook saying that Ruben Amorim's future at Man United is in the balance following his explosive attack on the club's hierarchy. Amorim's frustration has boiled over after United's top brass, including Wilcox, urged him to be more tactically flexible. If it comes to a power struggle between Amorim and Wilcox, chief executive Barada is expected to back the latter, which is
Yeah.
Wilcox. It also has been reported that apparently Wilcox and Amram have had some altercations over what I mentioned before tactics. And apparently, he asked him to be more flexible to visit the forward back, but as Amram has cited in previous press conferences, he didn't want to be bullied into it. It seems, he wanted to do it on his own accord. Well, I think the poor results kind of bullied him into it, but I mean that is to each their own. But as bigger picture than Eden, do you think that he'll get sacked? And if so, um, where does that leave how you feeling about United then? You know?
Well, the same way I've been feeling since 2013, yeah, it's easy. Um,
No, but
the
just quick, right? The
yeah,
irony is, alright, like I think, bro, Amorim is in a position that you sack him, it's been justified 5 games ago, 10 games ago, whatever, right? However, you do sack him. Well, actually, I was trying to make the point that how you're only 3 points off four and you can bring in somebody and the season salvageable, right? But we're right, when Van Nistelrooy left last year and Ruben take over, and all was also like 4 or 5 points off four then as well.
yeah, we were
So
doing pretty
I was gonna
nicely.
say that you're in a better position now than probably previous years where you had to sack somebody now, you know. But
Um,
I guess it's similar.
I will give the manager his credit for standing on his laurels. He has his tactics and he wants it to succeed. Fair enough, right? Nobody wants somebody to come and hold their hand and essentially tell you how to do your job. You're brought in here to do a job, so I'll give him
Yep.
credit for that. But at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
he was, or he has been delusional to a great extent. Given the fact that the team, the results there, and you have the personnel, you've had the personnel, and the results there. We're not playing consistently well, and we have looked good the times we have switched to the back four. Now,
Yeah.
our next issue that was brought up was transfers in January. Apparently, that was our next cause for concern between the board and him because they want more long term signings. I guess similar to what Enzo and Chelsea would have been going on, where they want to sign young players they could possibly flip. With United, they want long term players that could be there for how much ever managers to come. He wants
Mm-hmm.
immediate reinforcements now, and it looks like he's not getting it. So I could see him walking. You see the frustration growing every game. Uh, I do want him to succeed, and my fear is that we fall into the same trap again an ex interim manager, and the merry-go-round just keeps going at United. It doesn't shock me at this point, and I don't know which manager could come in really and make a difference. We again talks about Xavi like whining down low for this job. Apparently, he real won this work. So
Apparently, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, bro, if it was me, boy, given Enzo free now, unless like he and behind the
I ain't
scenes
going
that
City,
he
bro.
really is he sure City successor, I'd do everything to get Maresca at this point though.
Yeah, he's fantastic. But I don't see unless like the vacancy really does come up one time, and the City
Yeah,
job not certain. But he did say he had talks with City already. I feel like that lineup.
yeah, I feel
Yeah,
so
I
too.
feel that lineup already.
Um, Virgil, Brandon, anything you all want to say on Leeds United? What
Good,
I would say
good
on
one.
Leeds, go ahead, on, Virgil. Yeah, go ahead, good.
Yeah, all I was going to just mention us, well, before everything that Eden mentioned is that, going into this game, it's obviously a game of significance for both teams, more so on Leeds side. So, going into this game, it was obviously going to be something that's kind of tough, and the way that how the result came out, I felt like it was a fair result. Just honestly looking at sometimes too with United, just from the outside looking in, not really weekly, but I feel like that youth man in our back line, boy, them has really tried their best to have this man start his career off the toughest way possible. This have one fella. But good response from United. It could have gone a lot worse. But yeah, I feel like how things going on behind the scenes, it's seeming very, very Chelsea yes right now. I feel like things going a little crazy. And I feel like I have the same sentiments if it does lean that way. I feel like the way how United are right now, it could do a lot more harm than good. It would just kinda destabilize the whole season. So, that's something that we're looking out to see how 2026 go for Manchester United.
Dog, you know what's the insane thing in United? It just feel like every week it's going terrible for them. They just watch the table and they not
They're
doing
not
that bad
bad.
in the.
Watch with
Like
their
you would
result
think.
against City. It might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Bruno will come back.
Brandon, anything else you want to say?
I'm gonna say something, and I really don't want it to come across as hate because it's not. It's constructive. I promise that it's
Hater,
constructive.
player
This is
hater.
my promise. Um, I saw somebody say today that I hope that all the Man United would be better without Bruno Fernandes. People watched the last two games and saw how Man United played. I thought to myself, is that not the problem in itself? Like, you shouldn't need Bruno Fernandes to beat Wolves. You shouldn't need Bruno
Yeah.
Fernandes to beat Leeds, who are a rival to Man United, by the way. I think people forget that a lot because Leeds haven't been in the league for a long time.
Yeah,
Like,
that derby is
they
fire,
are
man.
rivals, you know. And I feel like there have been so many different systems that have been played, right? And it can't be that the key cog in all of these systems is Bruno Fernandes. Like, the system should exist and the system should work without one player being able to be there, right? And on top of that, like, it just speaks about the level of the rest of the team, and maybe the manager as well, because you it can't look so, because as Aidan said before, even the games with the 10-man Everton game and games earlier in the season that I can't remember right now,
Bournemouth
but
was
those
one of
types of
them.
games Bruno also played in those games, right? And I don't think there's much difference between games like that and games like today. And to me, that speaks a lot. Like, like it the rest of the team needs to really step up and really need to like be better. Like, some of these players are very good players, but they just, for whatever reason, the season has just been very flat. And
Yeah.
to say like, oh well, we need Bruno Fernandez. Like, yeah, you've needed Bruno Fernandez since he ever since he came into the club. And if you're just relying on him for everything and every single thing for him to do, whether it be defending or attacking or whatever, like, I don't know how you could positively move on from that. Like, if you just keep reverting to, oh well, we miss Bruno today. Like, I don't know how you feel about it, Aiden, but like, I promise you, this is not Bruno criticism. I think this speaks more about the club and how the club has put him on such a pedestal that they need him to be successful. And I don't know if that is the direction you could go right now for the club.
Yeah, I would agree with you. To for the most part. He is quintessential to us, especially progressing the ball. And the problem is we just haven't had that other player step up. Unfortunately, well, whether Kobe is injured or has been frozen out because of the behind the scenes stuff, it's just unfortunate because the lack of creativity in the squad was evident today. Cunha was literally the only person progressing the ball in any kind of positive manner. But big up Matty Cunha, by the way. United, I've seen some United fans complain about him and says he on fraud watch, and I was like, if he on fraud watch, I don't know what you would say about Sesko or some of these other guys because Cunha has been one of our better players,
Yeah.
you know.
Um.
And just for the
Yeah.
record, I don't want Amarim out. I am not Amarim out because I just know it's just going to lead to the cycle continuing. I I didn't reach a point that I say he get out my club as yet, but please be a little more flexible.
Aidan, do you not think that
Um.
people being a little more kind to Amorim than they would to Ten Hag?
Um, Definitely, the media will always be harsh on United managers regardless. So I think he knew that he had to know that coming in. The spotlight there is crazy. But yeah, Ten Hag actually won trophies, so he deserved probably a
No,
little
but
longer rope.
I will lie though, Aaron. I think that I don't know if it's by just the virtue of the situation he took over or how Amaran speaks in the media, but I think he has managed to find a way to paint a picture that he is in an impossible situation. And no matter what he does, he can't win.
He
And
choose
so
what?
like and so he can't do any better now because he's in a no-win situation. This situation is terrible. All these players are good enough, whatever, whatever, whatever. And like I think that outside of being clowned by rival fans, I don't actually think the media I think part of it though is because you talk about the managerial cycle in United, right? I think part of it is because people like Gary Neville and whatnot, they just fed up see the cycle now. So it's like, dog, whatever, like who care about the manager at this point, because that they feel like, yeah, we gonna sack him or we gonna hire this one and then we'll go through the same cycle and next year we gonna be here. That rather they just let go with one manager.
Yeah, none of our
Um
legends speak positively about the club. I mean, I wouldn't give them wrong. They come from an era of winning consistently. But yeah, none of them speak positively about the club, and it
this
does
this
reflect.
these three men have a pod boy. Nicky Butt, Scholes and somebody else.
Not Fletcher, because Fletcher has worked for the team.
No, it was three ex United players. And honestly, bro, every time one of them clips man come across one timeline, not once I would have sense at his head. But that
Yeah,
is whatever. I
yeah.
wanted to
Actually,
say
though,
though,
I don't really listen to ex United players talk again because it's always vitriol.
I wanted to say on Leeds, since they lost to Man City on the 29th of November, right, 3-2, where they did score twice in the second half. They have had on an undefeated run since then. Now that might make it like the real winning. It's two wins. But for a relegation threatened club, to get draws against Liverpool twice, to get a draw against Man United, to get a draw against a high flying Sunderland, and to beat Chelsea, to beat Crystal Palace, bro. Because the season they was having before that was bleak.
Yeah, but
Like,
8 points off the drop now.
yeah, bro,
Yeah,
like full credit to them. Player for this game, guys. I want to go with Strike, however it's pronounced it, but I wanted to hear what else. He got the assist. He played really well as well in the back, but yeah,
I would give it to
I
Aronson. I thought Aronson was real good.
yeah, anything. Iran.
I bias because I find Cunha was one of the better players on the field. But if it's a Leeds man, Bijol, how you pronounce his
Yeah,
name?
he was good too.
He
Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah,
excellent. I find the only reason I would say not Aronson is because he came off, but then it was only like 5 6 minutes. So
yeah.
I could go
Casemiro
with
was also really good too.
yeah. I mean, he has been a whole season. Once he playing once a week, Mamu good, but
Yeah, the
um,
football has come back to him, bro.
Yeah,
Carragher.
yeah, yeah. Virtual, you have anybody you want to put
Mm,
forward?
no, I
Let's can
didn't,
have
but
a make a executive
Oh no, they had
decision here.
better attacking performances than Cunha
yeah,
though. So, you know,
the only person I look at was Aronson.
All right, I two men say Aronson. We go with Aronson then.
for sure.
Cool. He kind of was one of the forward slash mid, so I'll go figure out where we played him after. Cool. The last draw quickly. Yeah, before we talk about Arsenal, was Tottenham 1, Sunderland 1. Tottenham is still Trash.
Boring.
Yeah.
Absolutely boring. Their goal was real fluky thing too. Pick up Sunderland either way though. Again, massive season. Pick up a boy
Mm.
Granit Xhaka for that performance against Man City now because that is what we talk about vitriol and pain, bro. That man performed for the boys and I really appreciate that. But I really have nothing else to say about this. I was out for lunch. I was on the game. This game was showing on the TV. Dog, and Spurs is hot trash, dog. Like honest to God, these men is just absolute go bar, dog. And don't get me wrong. I remember we did the preseason preview, right? And I said that the limitation I think for Spurs would be that I don't think they have very good attackers, right? However, even given that, this is terrible, dog. This is absolute terrible, dog. Gyökeres will start for them, but that's how bad it is, dog, right? So with that being
John,
said,
and just surprise player this season was a Spurs player.
well, he didn't get to play that much. He played today. He played trash though, but
Who's that?
uh, it
Wilson
was
or
it
the
was
bear?
Odewood. Dog, the
For
man
what
look
reason?
real
I'll
good.
never know.
The man look real good in preseason. When he play against us, you see, this is what's happening. When, like, is like your own thing. He play against us, right? And I watching Spurs left wing options going this season. I say, well,
Yeah, he had a
this man
play.
could end up starting, and he playing real good. So I say, no, like, if our man come up with like 10 goals and 5 assists, I say, yeah, like this is mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even have a player really to put forward from this. I kind of just looking at it. I did read some good stuff about Enzo Lefebvre,
Well, Angela
but
Fee, yeah, I was not gonna tell
He
her
was
that, yeah.
fantastic. Him and
Mm.
Robbie was good.
Yeah, boy.
all right, cool. Well,
Bro,
He plays out
Sunderland
look,
has
of
been such
camp.
a breath of fresh air
Love
in the
boy.
league.
Yeah.
Such
Yep.
bro, I know it's only recently too, but even even Leeds too, right? In the sense that these promoters have come up. I know obviously Sunderland doing it way better than the other two, right? But they fighting now, boy. You know, like Virgil, I know you had Burnley to stay away, boy. And I do think that until November, so their performances was that they was fighting. Now it kind of look like they don't actually believe they can stay up anymore.
Yeah.
But big up Sunderland, though. Big up Sunderland.
Bro,
And
they missing 6 men to AFCON, you know. That's crazy.
dog,
Yeah,
I'm
Crazy.
that's
Yeah.
telling
another thing.
you.
Yes, yes.
And Daniel
Jeez.
Ballard was suspended this week too, eh?
Oh, I didn't
Who
even
Mm-hmm.
know
who has
Ballard was
been their
He was
suspended.
on the bench this
best
week.
centre back, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not suspended. Sorry, he was injured. He had a knock going
Yeah.
into the City game.
Oh,
Um,
no, never mind. I think about the wrong game. Never mind, sorry.
and I tell you all, yeah, all you can scream by us or not, all you could not fight me. You see, end of the season come, and we talk about side of the season, dog. When I wear, I'm not wearing no, I wear my Arsenal jersey that day. But it's the only one that says Granit Xhaka on the back, dog. Is because that brother earned this, dog. I like, if you,
I don't even think that's controversial, bro. I don't even
Yeah.
dog,
think
and
it's
the thing
like
is,
Yeah.
you, if you go
debatable.
on here, so like Dougie Critchley is a Sunderland fan apparently, which I didn't know that before. But like, if you
Yeah, he
hear
is. I
Sunderland
learned that
fans
recently too. Yeah.
talk about him, dog, you just swear it's like the Messiah return or something, dog.
Dog. Yeah, no, I'm so glad you said that though, because I thought about it recently and I was like, is there a player that has ever gone to a club like this and like just like grip the fan base
Yeah,
in like an
man.
insane way? And the only player I could think of was when Tevez went to West Ham. And he just like he kept them
Mm.
up and like everybody will talk about to tell you like dog, this man was the most incredible thing I've ever seen at the club. Like I think
Yeah.
that's how Xhaka is being viewed right now. Like it, and even I remember watching Tevez at West Ham. Huh? Like people always remember him from Man City and Man U, but when he was at West Ham, like it was like a surprise sign, and nobody thought that was gonna happen. And he was so good, bro. He was so good. And Xhaka
Mm-hmm.
is just like you all know that Xhaka has the most interceptions of any player in the top five leagues. Like he had like
Mm.
130 something
Crazy.
interceptions.
And he's
It's
good
Now
like
too.
I know,
dog.
bro.
Yeah, that's
I
Even
mad.
know.
forward has been good
My
too.
my FPL knows from his weekly DEFCON points.
Yeah, one of
I
the only
know.
players I've had from game week one is Xhaka, which is crazy.
All right, guys. So
Valid
moving
find.
on, we talk about the Arsenal game now. Arsenal went to Bournemouth and win. I know I did not say the away grounds point to make it sound like Arsenal 3 points is better. I really didn't mean the goal every away ground. It's a hard thing, but yeah. If I be honest, with you, this game was real weird because I feel like the two times in the game that Bournemouth had momentum was because Arsenal just was like Here,
Yeah.
you know,
Spotless? Oh
like
shit, sorry.
well, I don't have chocolate. Do I? I don't have no chocolate in it. But it's like here, like until like besides that, it was so calm and collected and so good, bro. And I mean, I don't think you could have tell me that Arsenal would have benched their two best attackers go away to a team that has the second best home record, and I would have expected it to be as good as it was. I thought Madueke had a strong game. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Rice, but I thought Madueke had a strong game. Subimendi had another one about where he won 12 duels in the midfield, bro. Like somebody else, I think, is up there for signing the season. Um, Gyökeres has attracted five players for me. So, yeah. He did something. He did something. Though, you know what I find is so funny about that goal earlier? He needed somebody else to win the era loop for him not to do something because he got on the ball in the air. But and obviously these last few years, Odegaard has started to look like an actual footballer again and has started to play really well. We started center and start back, and all of a sudden we have a good platform going forward. And look, there is no way for me to hide that it's obviously been a very good week to go away and win to trash Aston Villa the way that we did, and for the gap to grow. Um, and just not get too ahead of ourselves. Like so funny. You see him friend I talk about who had a goldfish memory respect to Chelsea, right? We was talking last week, and at that point the gap was 2 points, right? And he was so certain that like City can come back and win this league and whatever. And the thing is obviously possible that they still can, right? But if it is that something that I have learned being in title races these last few years, dog, is that like this football thing, it so switches in a week, in 6 weeks, that like I I I don't sit here and speak. I try not to speak overly definitive about like predicting something that's 6 months down the line, you know. But more rather like just breathe a little bit. Like our job here is to sit and to analyze what we've seen so far, right? And yes, to make some predictions, and we can say what we feel, but leave space to see what going forward, you know. And so we in a very good place right now. I can't pretend like if I don't expect us to go on and do it from here. The truth is, even last week when it was 2 points, I was still saying I was expecting us to go on and do it from here. And it's based on how we playing. Ever since we lost to Villa, we've won every single game. And that one loss to Villa come amidst even more good results. That was only our second loss for the whole flipping season. And that coming a game where we didn't have some men and stuff like that. But are we seeing this squad up? Like I talk about City earlier about how I feel like tiredness getting to them. Bro, I just went away to our side and did the double on us last year. And my best player didn't start. My best attacker this season didn't start. My starting fullback was out. I have a fridge playing in the strike. And we was comfortable. And it was good. It was really, really good. Big up Gabriel for making a mistake and I told him fit in the same game. 5 minutes later, I really needed that. Because Lord knows his first bosom moment in 4 years, I didn't want it to be detrimental of anything. And big up Declan Rice, as I said before. I think he's the best midfielder in the league. I think he's probably these conversations bigger than that. I think Arsenal want to do everything that they should do this season. His name is going to come up in places that people didn't think before. I was once clowned for comparing him to Yaya and to Gerard. When the truth is, bro, this man is a perfect blend between the two of them. And even more fitting that he went and do the kiss the camera celebration this weekend with two goals hitting them from the top of the box. With
Oh,
that
yeah,
being said,
yeah, I
guys,
know, taking the celebration. Yeah, boy.
the floor is open. Is there anything y'all want to say? Obviously, I know I'm on a log there, so I apologize for that. But, yeah,
No,
anything.
but just want to add to what you said there, and
I
also
don't
to
really
what.
want to hear you talk about my
No,
side
wait, no,
earlier.
wait,
To
wait,
be,
wait, wait, let me just say this. Let me just say this. And also to add for what we mentioned to during the City game. But like there are a lot of things that we talk about with Arsenal, and we know that around this time, sure, previous season it has always been when it comes
yes,
down to this period
yes,
in time. This is for when Man
yes,
City reaches that form or everything. Arsenal literally, I mentioned, one bright spark from the minute I saw. The minute I saw Madueke, the way how he played, I was like, please don't let us be our second this Arsenal season because the bench Saka and Madueke is playing. good football. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, the fact that they could bench these players and they have these other players stepping up. We talk about this time of the season and City and credit City to the depth. Arsenal have the depth. So
Mhm.
every week they just keep ticking boxes. So mind you, I still feel like in the Arsenal DNA they have some way they could find a new and invent a new way to draw points. But right now they just keep ticking the boxes right now, and I feel like
Virgil,
we run out of
let me tell you
excuses.
the worst thing that happened to you this season. The worst thing that happened to you is that Turkey come good. If he didn't come good, then this title race would have ended up not being existent. We might have won the title and you'd have been able to run the narrative that we win the title without competition. The fact that all they end up in this title race dog and we're gonna win it, I'll tell you from now, change your address.
Oh wait,
Change
hey,
your address dog. Because I
the main thing
promise you,
is
I'll come and buy your house dog. The day
which
we win it, I'll
which
come and buy your house.
but which Arsenal player went to AFCON?
None, boy. We
Right, so
had
you
a AFCON.
see that you thing. Hey, hey,
So you were telling me that Marmoush and Ignori coming back to save the season?
if we had if we had Marmoush for this game, Pep would have still not played.
It's true.
Oh my god.
uh,
True, true, very true.
anything
Me too.
else, you guys?
You wouldn't have
Anything?
given me that. Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say? Anything at all?
I mean, I don't want to
Very
be
nice,
glazing Arsenal, but the y'all have been good. I can't fight that, and I am a big fan of Declan Rice, so I'm happy to see him shine in a more advanced role. I
Yeah,
never
boy.
never thought he was just a six. He was too good for that position. Whatever he is now, you can say eight, right?
Dog,
It
he's
depends.
everything, bro.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
just
everything, bro.
he on
Hey,
Dog, I,
Johnny
I,
Pogba vibes these days, but I'll get
dog, I remember somebody was arguing about this last year because they vexed with Arteta. Whatever. Now, why it is we don't play the man at six? Why we don't play the man at six? Whatever. And it's like, bro, you see everything this guy does. Why would you want to restrict him to just to put him in one box? He does everything. This dog, he has the most big chances created in the league. He scores goals. He runs up and down. He defends like everything. Like, why would you want to restrict him? So yeah. And him and Superman, they have been fantastic compliments to each other. So yeah. Brandon,
Yeah.
anything?
I'm not gonna say everything that I told John before because I gotta keep the image up a little bit. Um, but I really have to say though that I think I took two observations out of the game, and one was that I don't know why, and I don't understand the logic of it. But for some reason, when you play Gyökeres, you just win games. I don't know
Yeah.
what is the science behind it. I don't know what it is.
probably
Like
like too many
Because
it
matches.
just works.
He does at least take one or two players
I
with
don't,
him,
boy.
right?
I said that at the start of the season, but I didn't see it anymore. Like during or as of
the
recently.
recent weeks you wasn't seeing it. This
Yeah,
week I
and
thought his whole play was better and
yeah,
but the thing is, bro, the bar is in the ground with him. Like
yeah.
yeah.
I saying that he had to play just so I could win. There's for no other reason. Just by just playing.
Yeah,
Like he could play.
just play him on the field, play him in
Yeah,
a
just play him on the
corner,
field. Yeah.
sit,
For some
sit,
reason, all of a
sit.
win. And the other thing is, boy, like I have been so impressed with so many players that y'all have had throughout the entire season. I can't begin to tell you the depth question is almost like it's not even a question anymore. It's like y'all shouldn't have this much depth. Like somebody should charge you all for financial fair play. I feel like that's the only way to make sense of this. But what I will say though is that um it just looks like a title winning team. And I told John this, and I'll say it on the pod because I think it's important. We've gone from saying, well, Arsenal are good at set pieces, so try and stop the set pieces. And now we've arrived at, oh, well, Arsenal are really good as a team, so try and stop them as a team, which is quite a shift in perspective of a team. So, I mean,
Yeah.
when you're reaching such a shift, boy, I mean, you might just be the best team in the country.
Yeah. With that being said, obviously Rice goes in. The goals that they scored, Evan Eason, Gabriel leave the game with a goal and assist, right? For some reason, my FPL doesn't see that, but he left the game with a goal and assist, right? And then pick up Kruppi. because that was
Yeah.
just fantastic though. But I can't really sit here and tell you any one more player stood out for me. But I will let leave that to you all. Who else besides Rice I want to put in? I thought Madrid get a good game, but I mean we don't
I was
play in
gonna say
Harrison.
Gabriel, you know.
Yeah, I think he recovered
Yeah.
from the era so well and stuff like that. So yeah, cool. I good with Gabriel.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
cool. Next, all right, cool. So let me get through some games then. Oh the way, before that, I have to say this. If it is and you all watch the table, right? Bournemouth are only 5 points above Forest.
Yeah, boy. Damn.
Yeah.
Like,
I am not saying anything, bro. I am not saying anything.
Are you
I'm
not a
keeping
real word
quiet.
laser?
I'm
so
keeping quiet.
I listened to one of the Athletic pods. They had a Bournemouth guy on, and he was saying that how he think part of the reason that they are in this thing is because one, similar to that thing we talked about with John McKenzie, that's a plug a few weeks ago, where we talk about like that constant habit, the turnover player sometimes gets to it. Well, it catches up with you eventually. He also said that he think the fact that Iriola refuses to sign a contract has caused a lot of backroom disharmony, and it probably point out under the field.
Can I also
However,
point out that Bournemouth have done this like for like 2 seasons in a row where they win like they go on this insane 9 game streak and then they just
yeah,
fall apart for the rest of the season.
I mean, dog, but 15th is they was top four at that point in the season. Dog, 15th is insane.
They're too
Yeah.
chaotic, boy. That
Yeah.
is too chaotic. It's like it's
Hmm.
not sustainable.
All right, guys, cool. Let me blitz through some games, right? I've been honest with all you. Well, I tell you all it this. Obviously, when these people listen to it is that day. This is going on Tuesday. Uh,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
wife say I can't stay up later.
Crop that
So
out.
yeah.
Crop that out.
Cool. Next up, we have Newcastle beat Crystal Palace 2-0 in two teams that have become bipolar. We know Newcastle's bipolar, but Crystal Palace, it feels like a lot of injuries and stuff has started to catch up to them, and it feels like the form is kind of coming out for them. So, but with that being said, Bruno G, guys, this man in my FPL log is
Man, that's
one
good.
does. And Newcastle are back up to ninth. Crystal Palace are slipping down to 14 though, and it's a kind of dangerous thing for them. However, this game I know was going on while people was probably watching some other games. So if anybody has someone they want to throw out fast for me to put in the team, we can do so.
Do you have
Preferably
any
a
more midfielders?
defender. Nah. I
Well,
don't know
well
space
then
in
put well then put Chow.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's a good show.
Nice. Cool. Um
Yeah, bro. I would just say the fact that Nathaniel Klein
mhm.
starting for your team in 2025 just shows what's going on with your squad right now.
Dog, and you
Crazy.
know what's so unfortunate, boy? I'm not saying that he would have started,
Real.
but Rio
Yeah,
injured
bro.
him.
But
Like, dog, you know how
bro,
unlucky that is, dog?
yeah,
That he
bro.
injured when it
No,
is
was it time
that
you
Bruno's
girl,
out. Yeah, next up we have the striker for this week, guys. After he blanket every week when men playing him in their side, you have Igor Thiago scoring three. And Brandon, how far off your record is he now?
He's 1 goal off the record and he's 2 from breaking the record. Now might I add, a few weeks ago John said that I blighted Igor Thiago by saying that
He
he's
did.
close to the record and he will never score again. Mind you, he's got a hat trick this week. So he's two
Yeah.
goals closer, John. I would be
Too, too.
faithful to my
I
word.
hope, I hope he break it out. I honestly, I hope he break it out.
He's going to
And
break
like,
that
if,
dog for
and,
sure.
and, and if you watch him play, dog, again, seeing this with the shy guys have to watch, dog. Dog, you know what's the problem, right? With the shy guys watch, see the other strikers do basic things, just be like, wow,
Did he score a pen today?
must be.
Nah.
No,
No.
Wow.
no, no. So big up him, bro.
And he could have
Damn.
scored like five, eh?
And again,
He missed two
dog.
one-on-ones
He cannot
otherwise.
break the record today.
He missed two one-on-ones otherwise.
But big up
Is
Brentford
Igor
on the whole,
Thiago the new
bro.
Michu? Is Igor Thiago the new Michu?
Next season we can answer that because there's one.
Tune in next season to find
that's
out.
true. Next season, man.
Who is going to buy?
Actually, no, that
Um,
depends because somebody gonna pay like 60 for him.
Yeah,
Um,
somebody go and
it's,
buy this
bro,
man.
bro. But forget that, guys. We not have any conversation we supposed to be having.
Oh, you're right.
Is
No, you're
he
right.
is he going to be starting for Brazil at the World Cup in someone?
Oh, I really didn't think that's what he
Because,
was gonna say. No, okay, go ahead.
but like,
wow.
who else?
He
Figure
had
he
made
will.
he had
Hey,
made the score.
And
Do y'all know he's the fourth highest scorer in the top five leagues in Europe?
yeah,
He's
mm-hmm.
the
and
fourth highest scorer in the league
bro,
of the top
and my
five
thing
leagues.
is, like I was now saying, right?
I
If
didn't
you
even
watch
know who
him
this guy was.
play, his touch is great, his hold up play is great, his intelligence of where his teammates are. Dog, he had to start from Brazil. He had to start from Brazil.
Now he
Big up
If
definitely
you
fit into
Brentford,
the
dog.
squad
yeah.
for sure. Must
And
be
big
If you
up
sit down and
Brentford,
try and
dog.
do a video, if you
He's
try and try,
seventh.
yeah, bro. Brentford have defied the odds so incredibly. Even people who
yeah,
thought they wasn't going to get relegated, they
Yeah,
didn't
this is
think they were gonna
beyond
be
that.
doing so
This
good.
is beyond that.
Yeah,
This is beyond that. Virgil, you can
yeah.
say something.
That's what I'm saying. If you sit down and really try to do a video and look at all the options Brazil have for that strike, it's not as
Yeah,
straightforward as you think.
it's
It's
not.
really not as
It's not.
straightforward.
yeah, you're
So
right.
much times I sit down and think of, I'd be like Ancelotti, please just do the right thing.
Yeah.
Just do the right thing.
If I see
All
João Pedro
right.
starting over Igor Thiago, I might lose it,
That's
bro.
going to be heartbreaking.
I'm gonna make an
Right.
exception for
It's
another
gonna be
midfielder
Vinicius through the middle.
in this game,
Though
and this is
I
one
have seen
game.
Vinicius.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
probably. This is one game. It warranted, right? John McGinn scoring twice as a bounce back from the midweek loss to beat Forest at the weekend, 3 goals to 1. Watkins scored a fantastic goal, and let me tell you something, right?
Yeah.
If all you want life advice, ask Eden, right? If it is that you want FPL advice, ask Brandon. Because Brandon would tell you from the get go, don't buy Watkins in August. Don't even buy him in September. Not October. But you see, Winter Watkins is a different breed of player, dog. And he really thought about that. Today. He really thought about that. And so Watkins did score, but yeah, I had to make space for John McGinn in the midfield, scoring
Can
twice.
can I just say something about the John McGinn? The
Yeah,
crazy thing is John McGinn scored twice, but he wasn't even the best midfielder for Aston Villa that day because Yuri Tielemans and Kamara just incredible, bro. Like I mean this respectfully. I think they could start for any team in the league. The two of them, like they are
Brandon
so
Ennis.
good together. They are so good as a pairing. They can
Yeah.
start for any team in the league.
Yeah, they're
They
not
they
missing
they
him.
they're
He
that
at
good.
all. I thought they would, but it's like
No,
I'm
but
seeing.
Brandon,
They're so good, boy.
you're so right, but and the thing is, boy, is that I don't know how I managed to listen to the Gary Neville thing that he's doing today. It's because I couldn't find nothing else to point while I was in the kitchen earlier, actually, right? And he was saying that how when you watch your squad and what Villa doing, and look, I'm not saying that Villa not going above the odds this season, right? But like I honestly think like people is underrated the players that Villa have, you know. Like
Yeah,
don't get me wrong though. Rogers is catchy the headlines and Watkins has been his consistent player over the years and things though. But don't Konsa is one of the best centre backs in the league. I know Paul Torres out injured right now, right? But when we talk about
Lindelof.
Konsa there, Lindelof doing well. All the midfield options are fantastic, dog. Kamara, Onana, we now talk about McGinn and Tillemans.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they have a very, which is that is why I thought that they'd be in the Champions League contention size because these players are very very good. You want to say something?
Oh no,
Oh,
nothing further
um,
to add. Anyway.
but now when the man scored twice, and I mean,
No, yeah, of
big
course, yeah.
big up Victor, John Victor, doing
Hey
this to
boy.
the John name for the assist to McGinn. Well, no, it wasn't to McGinn, it was to Tillemans, and then Tillemans passed
Or the
to
keeper.
McGinn. Yeah, the keeper,
He
yeah,
was he
Man held
crying?
on triangle by mistake, bro.
Yeah. Was he
yeah,
crying
that is what he
after?
did.
He came off, right?
Yeah, he got
Yes, he
injured,
did come
yeah.
off. He
Oh,
instantly came off.
that's crazy.
Cool guys. Two more games. Wait. There's somebody here in this game that kind of need to go in, you know. But I don't really know how to rearrange this anymore.
The youth man
You gotta pick a
fumbled.
keeper, eh?
That one now saying that man, he fell out like
Matthias man, hey dog.
Well, you know, Jose
yeah.
Sa did keep a clean sheet, eh, bro?
Hey, big up.
Well, really actually, I was gonna put Verbruggen in goal, right? For
Okay,
Brighton,
fair enough.
right? But after
Yeah.
that, you see, if
Oh
I
yeah,
could have
Brighton
pulled
did
a
keep a clean
centre
sheet, yeah.
back, if I could pull out that centre back from any other of these teams and put money in somewhere, I would, you know.
What about,
But
oh, from off? Oh, okay. Sorry.
for anybody else now, but like okay, well, Rice had to be in there, McGinn had
Yeah,
to be in
yeah,
there.
for two each. Yeah.
The only thing is probably if we take out Enzo Lefebvre, but I mean,
How much strikers you playing?
well, it's really just want to get a balance 11 because we had
Okay.
two centre backs. If I got a third one, then alright, I could say we'll run and cheer at the back. Here what? This is real shipping. Is what we're gonna do here, right? Because this is not how it should work, right? But for the week, Mukiele had, I had put Mukiele in the back line, right? And I put in the money because what I want to do today, I thought was to finally, they couldn't even get to 2025. They had to wait till 2026 to get the first one of the season. The man had to be it. The man had to be it.
He was also
So,
fantastic
Statistic.
against United too.
Yeah, he
He that was
bro,
his
was.
even
first.
when he came on against us, he was real
Yeah,
dangerous though. I mean,
yeah,
like
he
that
was
kid,
really
he's
good.
very good. He's very, very good.
Statistically, the best team of 2026 is Wolves, eh?
So
Okay.
with that, guys,
True.
our team for this week is Verbruggen in goal, Mukiele, Theo, and Gabriel in the back. Then your midfield consists of Mane, McGinn,
McGinn.
Rice, Enzo, Arons. No, well, Harry Wilson. Then you have Aronson behind Igor Jesus on top. No, that is Igor Thiago. I put the
You got Thiago,
Jesus.
yeah.
That's the wrong one. There's two Igors, and let's keep mixing up
Yeah,
the
there's
two.
one good one and one not
Yeah.
so good one.
One not so good one. Guys, we're not gonna do a roundup this week across the other leagues. However, I just want to touch on the fact that Real Madrid won 5-1 today. And when you see 5-1, you might think, hey, Mbappe scored twice. No, it wasn't Mbappe. Gonzalo Garcia, who did look pretty good in the Club World Cup in the summer, scored a hat trick starting for Real Madrid. And I just want to say that the last time that we spoke on Real Madrid was when they lost to Manchester City in the Champions League, and it looked like his job was being threatened. Not look like his job was being threatened, and he was Xabi Alonso was being told, if you don't win the next game, you're fired. And if you don't win the game after that, you're fired. If you don't win the game after, you're fired. Well, they went on to win all four games, and so just broadly, guys, do you all think that Xavi has turned it around? Do you think his job is safe? Or do you think this is just delaying the inevitable? Again, the floor is open to hear you guys.
Hmm.
Thanks.
Sorry, what was the question, John? Sorry, I lost it there.
With Xavi Alonso getting the four wins and he was told that he desperately needed, do you think this is delaying the inevitable or do you think he's turned it around?
Oh, nah, I don't think. I think, like, he's done really well to keep himself, afloat, as well as the team. But I can't see him being out of the job until the Champions League comes back and you see, like, the only time I think he will leave before the end of the season, if at all, is if they crash out of the Champions League. I can't see it happening prior to that.
Yeah. They have a super Copa game coming up against Atletico this Thursday coming.
Jeez.
And China beat them 5-1, so I guess that would also be one thing to look at to see how the team respond.
With Madrid too, boy, is like remember a trophy, even a league trophy don't guarantee a job. So it's like,
Yeah, but
and I don't see him. I don't see them beating Barca this season for that league title either. So
yeah,
yeah, I feel
yeah,
it's inevitable at this point. Um, if if
yeah. But
if
valid, bro.
if Madrid really gonna try and get Jurgen Klopp, then
My thing is
that'll be
why
funny.
is like it's so that but Madrid is one of the few clubs why does really get away being player led, and it's just how they are.
Daddy
That
aura legacy
yeah,
or
man.
aura.
So I can't see Xavi winning this. Virgil, what you want to say
Y-
before we wrap this up?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I feel like on one hand, I feel like everything is there for him to say like, okay, his job is safe, but also as mentioned there, the Champions League is a key thing. I feel like there are a lot of things there that could ignite that conversation again as Chavi to as for him to be out. So he have to have a perfect season from now for that top one. I feel like with right now, any little thing could spark that
Yeah, but anyone
end
lost.
season, yeah, end of the season, and even in the man of our loss, we could look to a small team, we look against a tough opponent in Champions League. I feel like anything is there. He's literally walking in a field full of landmines right now, and I feel like they're waiting for that step for just to have a reason to say this is why we parted ways with him.
Yeah, fully agree. I mean, they are only 4 points behind Barca, so we see. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there for this week. Obviously, it's the first one back, and we had so much to talk about with the Prem. We won't do you guys this every week, we promise. And so we will do something on transfers at some point because obviously it's January and we have to see what teams are up to. And so with that, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for joining us for another year. We are so grateful to have you guys along with us, especially if you stayed this far in the episode. So thank you guys for your time as well. And we'll catch you guys next time. See you soon. Take it easy and later.